Hey everybody, it is September 16th, 2007. I am Sonic Suns, and I'm doing a little video called Why Do Hard Drives Have to Die? This is actually a happier story than you would guess from the title. So first off, I'm at home just for this weekend. As you can tell here, and I think maybe in this environment you can see the color thing I mentioned earlier. Like, this is not a brown shirt, this is red. But you'd hardly be able to tell as far as I can see on the video thingy. Anyway. So, I wrote earlier about I had a Western Digital MyBook 250 gig hard drive with USB and FireWire, right? And I bought that about a year ago. And over the last 3 months, it had been slowly flaking out on me. It would fail to copy a certain file, and then I'd have to like redo it like 2 or 3 times before it would really work. You know, and sometimes, I don't know, sometimes nothing horrible seemed to happen, but little things like that, you know, the cyclic redundancy check error would come up, or I tried to defragment it, it wouldn't let me. So I plug it in one day, and not for the first time, it doesn't appear on the computer. It just go like, you know, start my computer, not there. I go over to Ubuntu, not there. There's another weird thing. It got to the point where when I logged on with Ubuntu, for some reason it would see all of the files on the disk as being private and unchangeable. Like I'd set some security feature, which I hadn't. But now I wouldn't even see it at all on either operating system. This has happened before, and generally after a couple of days it mysteriously comes back. After several days, it's on and off, and I plug it in, and the light comes on, and then nothing, and eventually the light just stays on forever, and eventually I just unplug it so it doesn't overheat or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It was just running, even though it wasn't running as far as the computer was telling me. So I started thinking to myself, wow, I got 75 gigs on there, and I don't want to lose it. And I don't know how to get it out. So I come home this weekend, picked up a few things for college, and then I went over to Best Buy to see Geek Squad. Which is kind of an embarrassment for me, because I'm kind of a geek myself, and I've made money fixing other people's computers, and here I have my own problem I don't know how to fix. Right? Oh, and I mentioned earlier that I bought SpinRite, this great program from GRC, but SpinRite couldn't detect the hard drive either. And they were like telling me, oh, take it apart and then just plug it directly into the motherboard. I'm like, first, I have a laptop, so I have to take it home to do that, which I can do. But secondly, the thing's not meant to come apart. So I didn't know what to do. So I go to Geek Squad. And they take it apart and void my warranty. Which is great, because there's a warranty on this thing. It's only a year out. But the warranty does not cover your data. So to get the data back, you have to like break it open and do some crazy stuff. And that voids the warranty. Dang it! So, you know, here I am wishing I had a second backup of all this stuff. I'll get to that in a bit. And I give it to them, and they break it open. So, here's my hard drive now. Turns out this breaks open a little easier than you think, apparently. I don't know, but I didn't want to touch it, and for fear I might just, like, snap the hard drive in two. Here's some circuitry dude stuff. The actual drive itself is over there somewhere. I won't bother with it. So they open it up, and they connect it in. Apparently, it was a problem with, like, the circuitry thingy that connects you to, you know, the USB thing and all that. So heck, possibly FireWire would have worked, but I don't have a FireWire port on this machine or on any of my home machines. Anyway, so they tell me, okay, plugging this directly into the computer, we can get all your data back. I'm like, yay! And like, okay, but you're going to have to get a new hard drive to put the data on. I'm like, oh, right. So, you know, this thing cost me like $150 a year ago. And then I said, oh, wait, what's the charge for getting my data back? And they say, oh, well, that's $150. So I'm looking at $300 to get my data back. So here's why I did something kind of clever. I said, well, can you just give me the drive, now that you've busted it out of its case, and I'll see what I can do with it, and maybe not pay you $150. And thankfully they agreed to that. They could have been evil about it and said, oh, well, no, we've already begun work, so you're going to have to pay us, Ugh. So they gave me the busted up case and the hard drive and all that. And then I go to see what I can do with that. So bring it home, and I open up the main computer we have now, which is sadly running Windows Vista. Anyway, I open up that computer, and I try to plug it in, and I can't even, get to where the thing is supposed to plug in on, the normal hard drive. And then, here's where the CD drive goes in, but their power cord doesn't match mine. They have something that, isn't a Molex connector, as far as I can tell. This is where, it's embarrassing when you know so much about technology, and then you find you really don't. And they're like, I only go this far, and then after that, I don't actually know what this thing is called, this power thingy that doesn't have 4 wires. What is that? So that's not working. So then I go to plug it into a separate computer I have, because I have 6 old desktop computers lying around that I've gotten from clients that, I fix one thing, oh, I have this old one that I replaced. I'm like, oh, can I have it? And they just give it to me. So I'm playing this other thing, and I find that while the Molex connector is there, it doesn't have, it has an IDE cord, right? I think that's what it is. Just watch. I'll embarrass myself by getting it wrong. But, the data cord, the long gray one, or the wide gray one. But that doesn't actually plug into the drive. Okay. So I come up with this crazy solution. I put the 2 computers next to each other. I take them both apart, and I plug in the Molex connector from this computer and the newfangled data cable from this computer, and then I turn that computer on, and wait a second, and then turn the Vista computer on, and then I get the data. Yay! And I could have done this even without Geek Squad if I had known that you could bust these things open without totally destroying the inside drive thing. But I didn't know that. It'd be nice to know these things.